Well, it's amazing to me after going through months of deliberation and thinking about these products, these companies, and these people, how quickly the evening goes. Tonight, we're recognizing Time Warner and Time Warner Cable for their pioneering achievement on the full-service network, which was deployed in the early 1990s. If you think back before the internet, there was a vision of what a connected, rich media broadband experience would be. And it was really the full-service network where I personally did my first interactive TV projects, and others in the room that I've had a chance to talk to also worked on their first visionary broadband interactive TV projects. Let's take a look at a little bit of a glance into the Wayback Machine.
We understand that the introduction of the FSN into the first American homes is an irreversible step across the threshold of change.
Where do I sign up?
We wanted to put all this computing power behind the television set and make it as simple to use as changing the channels on your remote control.
The Warner Brothers Studio Store.
Its boundaries stretch as far as the future.
It's a suite of their most premier products that allow my TVs,
computers, gaming devices,
home and mobile phones
to work together.
For Time Warner Cable, the full-service network revolution has just begun.
Accepting the award on behalf of Time Warner Cable is John Kivey, President of Operations for the West Region, and accepting for Time Warner Inc. is Chuck Dages, Executive Vice President of Emerging Technologies for Time Warner.
Well, this is fantastic, and before I say any other words, I want to thank the Academy and the committee for choosing Time Warner, and it's a real honor to be here tonight to represent the hundreds of people who actually worked on this project nearly 20 years ago. Today, VOD, cable channels, HBO Go are all descendants of this project. I'd like to especially recognize the team leaders from the three divisions that put this together. First, there was Jim Chittix, who was head of the cable design and engineering department at Time Warner Cable, who ripped apart the design of traditional cable systems and figured out how to actually make the things that we see today happen on an old analog system with a little bit of digital. The second person I'd like to recognize is Chris Cookson, who's the head of the committee, of course, and has been mentioned a number of times, and you met him earlier. He led the Warner Brothers challenge of taking our content and digitizing it. And at that time, compressing and digitizing video was unheard of. And he did a magnificent job of getting the team together, the creative forces and the technical forces at Warner Brothers, to make acceptable product that could go together. And finally, HBO and the leadership of Bob Zitter, who helped develop and understand the dynamics of VOD. And it has evolved into a great business for the cable systems and for the studios here in Hollywood. So in any case, I'd like to thank you. I've taken too much time, but again, committee and Academy, thank you so much for this honor.
Just so everybody has a sense of what this thing actually did at the time. It was video on demand, interactive TV. Internet TV, or internet on the TV, gaming and voice over IP, or at least the precursor to that. So it's a pretty stunning thing, and just to give that the right perspective on the timeline, that was the early 1990s. So it was really pretty amazing. There's a couple individuals I did want to thank in addition to Jim Chittix. You saw Jerry Levin up there as well, Mike Hayashi, Joe Collins, our chairman and CEO, Glenn Britt, and Mike LaJoy, who could not be here tonight. He's a good friend and a great leader within the industry, as well as a gentleman by the name of Jim Luddington. So on behalf of Time Warner and Time Warner Cable, thank you again.